Hello IP6. This is our second video lesson. So in the first lesson we reviewed everything that we did before the Christmas and New Year break, and today we're moving on to the next part of the chapter, which is commas. Before we do that though, we are going to check the homework I gave you from the first video. So you should all have your worksheet that I gave you in the first lesson. Okay, so on the e-learning platform, you should see a file that says IP6, IPE, EXER, answer key 105. 105 was the last lesson that we did. And you should see a worksheet that looks very similar to the one that you did as homework, except it says in big red letters, answer key. So get your worksheet that you've completed. If you haven't got your worksheet handy, go pause the video and get it, and we're going to go through the answers. So number one, would you like to watch a movie? We need capital W at the beginning and a question mark at the end. Number two, that sounds great. We need capital T at the start and an exclamation point at the end. Number three, what should we watch? Again, capital W at the start and a question mark at the end. Number four, how about Detective Pikachu? We need capital H at the start. The name of the movie, Detective Pikachu, needs capital D, capital P, and we need a question mark at the end. Number five, who is in that movie? Capital W to start, question mark at the end. Number six, Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu. We need capital R for Ryan, capital R for Reynolds because that's his name. We need capital P for Pikachu, the name of the character, and we need a full stop at the end. Number seven, I would prefer to watch Sonic the Hedgehog. We need capital I at the start. The name of the movie, Sonic the Hedgehog, needs capital S and capital H, but we do not capitalize T for the, and we need a full stop at the end. Number eight, last one, is actually a run-on sentence. So we need capital T for that's a great idea, then an exclamation point after idea. Then we need to capitalize the name Jim Carrey, capital J, capital C, and is so funny with an exclamation point at the end. Okay, so give a score for each one of these questions and a total out of 25. Now, IP6, I think you should all be able to get 25 out of 25 there. To pass, you need 18. I'd be disappointed if anyone is getting 22 or below. Okay, now we're going to move on to this lesson. Okay, so this lesson is lesson 2 of chapter 5, and we are talking about commas in a series. Now, I'm sure you've done this before. You should have done it in IP5 last year with teacher Erin. And those of you who were in my class in IP3, we also did it a few years ago. So you should be able to do this quite easily. So, when we speak, we pause to make what we are saying more clear. And a comma is this punctuation mark, and that comma shows when you are pausing in a sentence, when you are writing. Now, a series is when we list 3 or more things in a sentence, and we use commas to separate the things in a series. And we also write a comma before the conjunction and or that comes before the last thing in that series. So, I would not say, I went to the shop to buy crisps, cola and bread. It doesn't sound correct. You would say, I went to the shop to buy crisps, cola and bread. You pause after each thing in the series. Now, the things in a series, they could be more than one word. Also, you can have more than 3 things in a series. So, I wouldn't say, I want to go to the beach so that I can swim in the sea, build a sandcastle, eat an ice cream and sunbathe, because that's very confusing. You would say, I want to go to the beach so that I can swim in the sea, build a sandcastle, eat an ice cream and sunbathe. Okay, I'd like you to get English textbook 1 and turn to page 241. Look at questions 1 to 4. You need to read the sentence and add commas to the series. If you don't have your textbook, that's okay. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the video. When you pause it, you can write these sentences onto a piece of paper and you can add commas where you need to. If you do have your textbook, you don't need to write it again. You can just add the commas directly onto the textbook. Okay, so I would like you to pause the video and start the video after you have finished these questions. Do not continue watching until you have finished questions 1 to 4. So please pause the video now. Okay, have you finished? If you've finished, you can continue watching for the answers. So, number 1, red is the colour used for stop signs, comma, traffic lights, comma, and some fire hydrants. Number 2, red, comma, yellow, comma, orange, comma, green, comma, and blue are 5 colours in the rainbow. Number 3, does blue make you sleepy, comma, wake you up, comma, or help you think? And number 4, colours inspire advertisers, comma, designers, comma, florists, comma, and chefs. So please give yourselves a score out of 4 for those questions. No half points, you either get it right or you get it wrong. Okay, I would hope that you'd all get 4 out of 4. If you get 3 out of 4, 1 mistake isn't too bad. If you're getting 2 out of 4 or below, you need to be more careful in the next section. Okay, so turn to page 243 now. We're not doing the next couple of questions. I want you to turn to page 243 and look at this box for questions 22 to 30. Now, I'm sorry if you don't have your textbook. I know it's not very clear because of the grey background, but if you don't have your textbook, please pause the video and try your best to write this correctly. If you do have your textbook, it should be quite easy. Just read the sentence and add commas where they are needed. So again, I'm asking you to pause the video and press play when you have finished these questions. Okay, so please pause the video now. And if you are now finished, we can move on to the answers. So only continue watching if you've finished questions 22 to 30. Okay. My closest friends are Michaela, comma, Sally, comma, and Victor. Spaghetti, pizza, carrots, comma, and spinach are my favourite foods. There are already commas after spaghetti and pizza. You need to add one after carrots. Next one. At school this year I sang in the chorus, comma, joined the chess club and became a crossing guard. So that, what comma after club is already there. You don't need to add anything. Next year I may be in either the band, comma, the play, or the swim team. So you need a comma after band. The next sentence is already correct. You don't need to change it. So my best subjects are math, science, and spelling. Next year I will take music or French. Next one after that, I would like to travel to Kenya, comma, Egypt, Korea, comma, or China. You need commas after Kenya and Korea. Last one, in my spare time I either play basketball, comma, read, comma, or listen to music. Okay, so there were 9 things to change there. Give yourselves a score out of 9. Again, I'd hope you all get 9. Anything below 7 need to be more careful. Okay, that is now the end of this lesson. Your homework tonight is workbook page 100. Now, today is Friday and you get 2 English video lessons on a Friday. Please do not start the next video until you have answered workbook page 100. At the beginning of your next video lesson, lesson 108, I'm going to tell you the answers to this homework. So please do not start it until you have done workbook page 100. Before we finish, I'm just going to quickly explain workbook page 100 to you. Okay, this is workbook page 100. If you have your workbook at home, great. If you do not have your workbook at home, you should see on the e-learning platform this file, IP6, IPE, EXER 107, commas in a series. So if you don't have your workbook at home, you can get a piece of paper and copy the answers to this on paper. If you do have your workbook, you can do it straight into the workbook. So section A, you need to write these sentences again, and you need to add commas where you need them. In section B, there are 5 missing commas. So if you have your workbook, you can add the commas onto the page. If you don't have your workbook, I want you to copy this whole paragraph and write it correctly with the 5 missing commas. Okay, IP6, that is the end of our lesson. So, like I've just told you, please do not start the next lesson, 108, until you have finished that workbook page. But until the next lesson, that's all we need to do. So, thank you, IP6. Bye-bye.